What's up, my Gummy Knights? And so, oh my god, I love this man. No homo. But no, I seriously love this guy. Respect everything he's due. I seriously love this guy. Respect everything he does, man. This video was phenomenal. It's 18 minutes, man. It's 18 minutes. I thought he was gonna go. I thought he was gonna go more in, man. I thought he was gonna go more in on me. But so yeah, we got Zan's response here. And first and foremost, I should go ahead and put this out there before anybody goes and tries to think I'm being mean or I'm being purposeful. I'm just trying to get even. No, it's nothing like that. I found this video hilarious. I absolutely loved it. And he has some really spicy comebacks, some spicy opinions that I want to go ahead and see if I can try to explain away or do a rebuttal to. And no hate. Absolutely no hate. Do not go send hate to this man or anything like that. He does not deserve it. This guy is, phenomenal and amazing. Okay, so I thoroughly enjoyed this video. Let's go on and get into it.
You wanna see me fall? Stephen Curry, how I ball. Gosha garments and a white 3 on my body. I'm an icon, man. And my girl about a 10. I'm in love with my squad. Fuck, shit. Oh my, God.
Well, hello there, Xandiel fans. It's me, Xandiel, and we're here today to attend the owning of me. Basically, I've been waiting for a while for a video from someone else to kind of critique bits of work that I've made, and as long as it's constructive or even hateful, actually, it is kind of interesting to watch. And someone finally came along and made one, so I was very excited when I heard the news. Somebody commented on the video, one of my videos, saying, "Oh my god, Zan, someone's made a video about you." I was like, oh my god, I gotta go see it. So I grabbed a glass of wine. I lie, I'd already had a couple, so I'm a little bit drunk in this video, so I hope you enjoy that. And I sat down and I recorded me watching it for the very first time. And it was good, I enjoyed the video. This, by the way, is not a video to send hate towards this person. I actually very much enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to having a Discord conversation with him. But here's my reaction to it. I know it's a bit of a long one, guys, but I promise you, you'll get a Ferrari if you stay till the end. You won't. At all. I'm a liar. But anyway, let's get into it, shall we? It's a long enough video as it is. You don't want me rambling on. Play my intro.
Nope.
Alright, guys, and so the first part is just basically him. It's kind of like, it's a pre-recording that we're going to be, I guess, doing my reaction to? Is that what I should call it? You know what? Let's go ahead and do it. Let's make it a reaction. I mean, because I know people are loving that reaction intro, so I gotta milk it for everything it's worth. Yes. Anyway, so in this first little part here, he's just basically expressing that, hey, I watched your video, I thoroughly enjoyed it, which, thank you, by the way. He was like, I'm not gonna send any hate towards you, that's not what this video is about or anything like that, it's not like me sending hate, right? I don't hate you, buddy. Right, okay, I don't hate you. Oh, man, this is amazing. This is amazing so far. And he's just basically talking about how he thoroughly enjoyed it and how, somebody brought it up to him, which, by the way, that means my title was successful. It was successful. And so, yes, this is a reaction kind of like / review, by the way. I don't want people to get misconstrued because I'm going to say some things about, the type of videos that I like to make that people are going to say, hey, you contradicted that point. No, but I just want to let you guys know I thoroughly love this video. I've already seen it, and I think that my opening pretty much made that clear that I pretty much already seen this video. But I want to go over it again so I could actually label out my points. The title did its job, right? Somebody went over there, they came over to him, and it was like, hey man, somebody's made this video on you, and good. Discussion and discourse. Which, by the way, I told him. Basically, just, again, it's all like no hate, all love here, and I completely agree. And so let's go on, just scoot right into the actual reaction, right? Let's go on and get right into the actual review and stuff of that nature. Trust me, it's going to be fun. And don't worry, I'm not sick this time. So if I slur my words, it's because I just fucked up, and you go ahead and admit it. Yeah, I completely fucked up. And I'm sorry, I'll try to keep my cussing to a minimum because that may make it sound like I'm hating on him, and I'm not.
Okay, so it's the point of watching this video. and he's already said that he agrees with most of the points in my video. So kudos to you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, first point there, pretty easy one to get out the way. He acknowledged that I agree with most of his points. Yes, I completely did. Yeah, I mean, if you want to discuss when we finally do this Discord thing, you know, the funny thing is I'm actually in the process of editing another video right now, but once I get this one edited and out there, go ahead and watch it, and if you want to discuss It's Anime Girl when we have our Discord conversation, that's fine too, but yeah, in that specific video, yeah, I was in complete agreement with the whole, you know, It's Anime Girl stuff, and I was like, I think we both made similar points, like, she just had no idea what the hell she was talking about. But anyway, let's continue on. That's around the whole idea of what happened between Goku on Namek when he was fighting against Frieza.
Sure, I mean, there's a little bit of I want to beat Frieza at his top form, you know, his top strength, but it wasn't like, go away and train Frieza and come back. He spared his life, sure, because he's like, I mean, a bit of an idiot.
And so Zan basically kind of just cuts down and just calls him...
Oh, wow. Fair play, mate. He's got me there. I do babble. He's 100% right. He did kind of say, you know, go away if you want to fight again. What can I say? He's got me there. And he dissed me bad with that slow-mo. Alright, let's keep going. He's right. He's probably, like, absolutely gutted me in this video, but I'm loving it, mate. I'm loving it. Let's keep going.
Alright, second point here, another easy one to get out the way. He's just acknowledging the humor that went into my video. I try my best, guys. Look, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm the funniest guy in the world. I'm not no Dave Chappelle, okay? I make jokes. I make shitty jokes. I make funny jokes. Sometimes people laugh, sometimes people don't. It's really up to your taste in humor. I'm glad he found it funny. I mean... I am pretty... I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep laughing. I know I want to continue on. But I'm glad he found it funny. It was actually just a spur of the moment. Because I was like, dude, what are you doing? Why are you calling him an idiot? He's clearly not an idiot. And let me gut you like the fish you are. No, but in all seriousness, let's go ahead and get back into the video.
I mean, he didn't get stronger just by the power of his friends. He reached mastered Ultra Instinct. Let's not, you know, put all of our eggs in the basket of friendship. It was mastered Ultra Instinct that gave him the strength. I mean, you know, friendship is a great power. You know, a moralizing force to have behind you. But his friends didn't give him mastered Ultra Instinct. I mean, you could argue that it was like kind of psychology that kept pushing him forward. But I mean, you know, the mastered Ultra Instinct was the form that did it. It wasn't the cheers of the crowd. It wasn't no Ribrianne stuff. It wasn't them, you know, sending them the power of love and all that. It was mastered Ultra Instinct, which he mastered of his own merit. You know, he may have had the motivation to do it through friendship, but he didn't see mastered Ultra Instinct as, oh, friends and blah blah blah. I realized that at the end, Jiren did think, you know, so this is the power of friendship. But that was just before he lost. And while he may have accepted Toppo's words of encouragement, it wasn't really like, well, Goku's doing it, so I'll do it. It was Toppo, you know, gave him some polarizing words, and he was like, yeah, all right, okay, no, actually, there might be something to this. You know, he didn't really fully accept it until he was just about to lose. But that's my contention. Let's keep going.
Now, in the early in the video, he basically said he had already disagreed, but this is the first voice contention that he makes, and sorry, Zan, buddy, but you are absolutely wrong. So you missed the mark on this simply because you ignored my actual point. My point wasn't about Goku's power and Ultra Instinct. I never said that Goku's friends gave him the power of Ultra Instinct. I was talking about a specified boost that he got. It is shown and stated several times throughout that arc and throughout those specific episodes about the boost that he got. And that's what I was talking about. I was making a scene comparison between what Jiren did and what Goku did. So unless you believe that Jiren also has Ultra Instinct, that should have been quite obvious about the point I was making there. I was talking about the boost itself that Goku got. And yes, Jiren is kind of like, if Goku does it, then I can do it too. I mean, that kind of is a similar scene, right? And I'm not going to sit there and disagree that, you know, Jiren eventually, you know, it took him to fully agreeing with it at the end. I'm not disagreeing with that point. I'm disagreeing with the point that he thinks that I'm mentioning Ultra Instinct and that Goku got Ultra Instinct from his friends. I never said that, and that wasn't my point. My point was to compare the power boosts, which is literally factually correct. You literally see Goku charge and power up right after he says, "Don't hurt my Nagama." And again, Jiren's whole thing was, these friendships, this trust is easily broken. And you can clearly see that he is talking about and referring to the immense boost that Goku gets from it, from relying on his allies, from relying on people he trusts, and how it can give him power. And I wasn't talking about no Ribrianne love stuff. That's just stupid. Like, Ribrianne's whole thing was stupid, but I'm not going to get into her. I hate Ribrianne, but not going to get into her. But that's not what I was talking about. Like, Jiren points this out and then tries to show Goku that it can be easily erased by blasting at his friends, and then Goku literally says, "Fuck that noise." He then goes down to the rock and then charges up. He literally powers up. He gets a power boost. I mean, denying that is just simply denying reality. That was my reference. It wasn't to Goku getting Ultra Instinct. That's where he's wrong. I didn't put my eggs in one basket. In fact, I never stated or even really implied that. It's clear to show that I was doing a scene-by-scene comparison between Goku and Jiren to expound upon a previous point. Right? And so my whole thing was about the friendship boost that he particularly got. But the main argument is still about the demoralization, which is just a fact. It did work. Jiren was indeed demoralized. He was on his knees. I mean, Frieza literally was mocking him for it, humiliating him and showcasing that, him just relying on his power on his own and stuff like that did not work. But then you see the incredible boost he got in power from, again, acknowledging that trust or acknowledging friends. Even if it wasn't completely and totally like the way it is with Goku, it was still an acknowledgement nonetheless, and he did get a boost from it in the same vein in which Goku did. And that was the whole point. So Zan misses the mark completely, and he thinks I'm talking about Ultra Instinct. I don't know how he get confused on that, but again, this is not me, hating. I'm just pointing out where he got it wrong. So, anyway, moving on. No, so Frieza. Again, Goku is someone who can be manipulated.
Right, someone who can be tricked. Okay, this doesn't inherently make you dumb.
Oh, someone
right,
else.
there are much smarter characters than Goku, I guess you would try to say. Generally, much smarter characters than Goku in Dragon Ball. When it comes to a whole manner.
I just want to point out that even though he demoralized Frieza, which we've seen in many different animes, different TV shows, and all that stuff, he didn't learn anything from it. He gave him his energy to survive after being split in half, and he still attacked him anyway, which was his, death until he, obviously got found by King Cold and whatnot. He didn't really learn anything. He then went to Earth to destroy the planet and his friends and whatnot, and kill Goku as well. He didn't learn anything. It wasn't demoralizing. It wasn't a good plan. I get, in theory, how it would have worked in his head, but it was dumb. It didn't work. He comes back in Resurrection F. First chance he gets after training a bit, because obviously the time skip and, he has to train. If he didn't have to train, he would have just gone straight back to Earth. He would have done the exact same thing. So yeah, it was dumb. Like, it did not work. He was giving a kind of a strategy towards them, and that it would work on some people, but this guy is not going to learn. He will not learn. And, you could argue the case that in Resurrection F, no, not a Resurrection F, towards the end of Tournament of Power and even the Broly movie, he's kind of become like a kind of comical character, kind of like a almost good guy. I would, it's not because he let Frieza go full power during the Frieza saga. Not at all. That had no contribution towards it. He still ended up meeting his fate. He still ended up Cyborg Frieza or whatever, Robo Frieza. He still ended up being a douchebag regardless of it. So that decision to let Frieza go full power made no difference. He was still a dick. But let's keep going. I am terrible. I am so terrible at making these points, and I do not need a script writer because, hey, my style. Ain't my style. Anyway, let's keep going.
And so I'm going to be addressing a number of points here. Okay, so let me get the easiest ones out the way. First of all, the whole thing with the voices. Now, most people on my channel know this, and I know that Zan wouldn't know this. He probably doesn't really watch my channel all that frequently, just watches this video. I would hope that he tries to watch my videos. I make some really good points, and if he ever has disagreement with other points that I make, we can talk about it. That's why I can't wait for Discord. It's going to be amazing. But the whole voice thing is basically I do this whole thing where I do like a pitch thing. Alright, and so the deeper, more baritone and brass voice, the more raspy, and I know it's a little bit more raspy or raspy because I am sick, but it's not a new person, right? It's not someone else. It's still me. It's just that that one is a little bit closer to my real voice. It's not exactly my real voice, but it's a little bit closer, and plus I am sick, so I'm like talking in a lower tone, but usually I add in the pitch, and so I have an editor, but he doesn't do that part. Like, that part's up to me, because I have all the stuff for it, so, I just basically I insert the pitch for my voice, make it a little bit higher, and I just thought it was a fun idea. It was just why I do it, but that's pretty much the easiest one to get out of the way. The second point here being that this whole notion of Cyborg Frieza and going to full power. Now, I guess the disagreement I would have is that wasn't my argument. That wasn't the point I was trying to make here. Again, it has correlation to the overall video, but it wasn't necessarily my point. Like, Frieza going full power wasn't a point to where I was trying to debunk you on. And that was the reason why Goku spared him or whatever. I guess I'm a little bit confused on what exactly he's trying to say there in terms of that point. But, the whole thing with Frieza at full power was a contributing factor to Goku. It was a contributing factor to Goku's plan overall, but it wasn't like the main crux of his plan and the idea in which he was going with. So in the third point, it's like Xan contradicts himself by agreeing with my point, but at the same time formulating a contention to that point. So he points out, again, something that I never said, or again, he points out something that I never said or never really uttered as it being the case. I was simply talking about a state of mind in which Goku was acting like. If Xan wants my personal opinion, then he can ask for my personal opinion, in which it would be stupid for me to say that Goku's plan worked. Again, I never said that Goku's plan worked. I was talking about the manipulation factors and stuff that went into what Frieza was doing to him and how Goku was deceived. I was talking about Goku. I was going from the perspective of Goku's mind. And Goku's mind, at the time, during that specific scene, he thought that his plan worked, and that's what I analyzed, that's what I pointed out. I never said that me, Jason, the Gummy Bear King, thought that his plan worked. Never said that. I said that Goku thought that his plan worked. Again, it wasn't my plan. And another thing is he contradicts himself on the fact that he points out that we've seen it in other shows, we've seen it in other series, which is true, and that it has worked. He forgot to mention that, but yes, it has worked. Many a times, and I even pointed out in the Jiren one, again, where I even pointed out in my little scene with the Jiren thing about the status of the plan and how it worked. Again, it does work, and Xan brings it up himself. Like, at the end of the fight, Jiren does change his ideology. So, it worked. That's literally a proven fact that it works. I could go to many other series, but again, I use the Jiren thing because it's close to home, and it proves my point perfectly, and it's about consistency. The consistency of them trying this out and showcasing that it works. And that is indeed true. So, I mean, I don't know if Xan's just glossing over this and ignoring it, but also he kind of acknowledges that, yes, it works. Or it could work. And sure, I know somebody's going to say, oh, but the logistics behind that is that he's saying, in theory, it doesn't matter. A plan that is dumb or astronomically stupid has no viable way of working. Again, if it's a plan that works, doesn't mean it's dumb. Like, Xan takes the character approach to, oh, well, the plan is still dumb even though it works. That's not how it works. That may be in TV and in movies, right? You get that character sometimes, where you'll get a character who sits there and here's a plan, thinks that it's dumb, thinks that's idiotic, right? And usually that plan will come from the main character or the lead strategist or whatever. They think it's dumb, think it's idiotic and irrational, but then they implement the plan, it works, and then the character has to walk back, even though they turn into a tsundere and go all like, baka, whatever, just because it worked doesn't mean I'll congratulate you or anything like that. Yes, that happens too. It happens in TV shows, animes, cartoons, movies, games. It happens all the time. Doesn't make the plan dumb. And it doesn't make the character who's suggesting that it's dumb either. They just couldn't comprehend how the plan would work from their point of view, from their perspective, from their idea. I mean, from their point of view, from their perspective, from their eyes. They could not see how the plan would work. And this is what Xan comes across as. He himself, right? Because I already acknowledged that the plan isn't dumb, and he's already conceded that it can work, which would automatically invalidate it being dumb. So it's like he is this character. He is that titular character who thinks that it's dumb just because they can't comprehend or understand what is actually going on there. And again, later on in the video, when he's watching my video, and I bring this up again about explaining that Goku, I'm talking about Goku's ideology, and expressing that Goku was tricked and manipulated into believing that it worked. Again, I never said that it worked. So him bringing up that, oh, well, it didn't work, and that makes it dumb, becomes invalid. It becomes irrelevant because I never brought up that point. I never said that it worked. I'm talking about Goku's specific ideology. His thoughts. He thought that it would work. That's why he attempted it. That's why he would try it. If you want to go over the plan itself, it's still not dumb. Why? Because it's worked before, and Xan has already conceded to that. He acknowledges, and he's going to continue to do it, by the way. I'm not just sitting here saying that he's doing it right here alone, but you guys are going to see later on in this video, again, he further acknowledges that this is a plan that can work, which would make it not dumb. Even if he was that titular character who thinks it's dumb, he kind of like has no conviction on it. He has no solid conviction on it. For him, he calls it dumb in one breath, but then the next, he says, well, actually it could work, right? It's something that could work, and he even points out to where some characters have implemented it, and it has worked, later in this video. Now, I'm not saying he's not good at getting these points across. I'm just saying, you know, he's wrong. It's like, Zan, don't misconstrue my argument. That's not my argument. I'm talking about Goku's ideology. That's what I'm talking about. Goku believed it worked. I point out that it didn't work. When I literally talk about how Frieza lied and manipulated him, tricked him into believing it worked, and that the point I was making with that was the fact that Goku's not dumb just because he gets tricked or manipulated. Now you're gonna hear later on me bring up the fact that there are more intelligent characters and other things, and this also bolsters this point right that I'm talking about right now. So Zan kind of like just misses the mark again. But hopefully I've explained it thoroughly enough to where he now gets what I'm talking about. Oh, and sorry, I guess that means there's 4 points actually. The scriptwriter. Zan, just to go ahead and point out here, yeah, I thought that was funny too. I know that's probably the mark in which he saw that my editor Jay had made a little joke at my expense because again I was sick and I was slurring my words, and he just pointed that out. He was all like, "Hey man, where's the scriptwriter, man? You sound terrible," and things of that nature. He's like, "What are you even talking about?" Because I was slurring my words. I even heard it back. Like hearing it back, I heard it back when I watched the video again, my video, and then hearing it back from Zan's perspective, and I made the exact same face. It's funny because we made the exact same face at the exact same time. I was like, "Wait, what? What did I just say?" I was like, "Dude, those are your words. What are you talking about?" And so that point did not come out the way I wanted to at all because I was sick. Again, I was fighting back sneezes, coughing. I was fighting back sneezes, coughs. I was literally burning up inside, and I was dying basically from a searing migraine that had my head like on fire, like literally on fire. Of course, not being literal, but it felt like that. Like I felt like I was dying during the making of that video, and so I got a little bit drowsy. I got a little bit, lazy on it. And I was like, "Oh, what the fuck is going on?" Like, and so Jay makes a joke about that, but none of my videos are scripted. I don't do that. And I was talking about I was gonna bring this video. I was gonna bring this point back up earlier. Earlier I said I was gonna bring this point back up, and here it is. Like none of my videos are scripted. Actually, like it's not my style either. When I do a reaction, I do it live. I do it raw. Right? You're getting my genuine reactions. It's not me writing a script and saying, "Okay, insert laugh mark right here." Ha 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 ha. And then insert holy shit mark right here, and just watching videos goes like, "Whoa, holy shit." No, it's all real. When I do my reviews, when I do my debunks, when I do anything on my channel, it's genuinely unscripted. I know some people can say, "Oh, that's a bad thing. You should totally script your videos that way. You don't mess up on words, you don't mess up on things." But it's just not me. It's not who I am. I gotta give it to you straight. I gotta give it to you raw. And so I agree with Zan. And it's nice to hear a voice that agrees with me on that. For us, scripted is not better. Anyway, I guess moving on. But just to be very clear, it was a joke. It's not that I'm actually getting a script writer. I mean, yes, I have an editor, but he's not writing a script for me. He's not like, "Hey, read this." I don't do that. I don't do scripts. If I sound dumb saying something, then I'm just gonna sound dumb saying something. But my point stands. Oh man, that's hilarious. Anyway, continuing on.
Just in terms of having common sense or, common knowledge or being able to think intelligently outside of the realm of battle, then yeah, you could say there's a lot of people out there, but even they have been tricked.
Yeah, so Zan acknowledges my point that there are smarter people than Goku when it comes to a more formalized education in terms of things outside of the realm of battle. And again, when I was talking about debating anybody who would disagree with that, I actually genuinely do mean it. Like, I would debate, because I know some people may say Piccolo's a better tactician or whatever, but, I've seen Piccolo, and he's good. But he's no Goku. I mean, when you got literal gods of destruction calling him a natural prodigy and gifted when it comes to the art of battle, I mean, you kind of know that maybe he's up a little bit of a higher realm. But in terms of formal intelligence, that's a bit different.
Right? Even they have been manipulated into doing stuff that was, otherwise seen.
And then Zan says, "So," ignoring my point. Again, he glosses over and doesn't acknowledge how it kind of debunks his previous points about what I was talking about. He kind of just doesn't acknowledge it. He just says, "So," when I'm pointing out the manipulation factor of these characters. Zan, there is no "so," buddy. The idea is that just because you're smart doesn't mean you can't be tricked. It goes back to the point of Frieza. Goku's plan wasn't dumb. He himself is not dumb, right? It's not even so much the plan. Like, Zan's really just going off of the plan. I'm talking about Goku the character, which is the original point here, right? Because Zan doesn't call Goku's plan originally in that video dumb. He calls Goku an idiot. And so that's my point, is that Goku's not an idiot just because he gets tricked or manipulated. And that Zan, which he kind of agrees, I'm not going to sit there and say he concedes to it, but he just agrees that there are smarter characters than Goku in certain aspects of certain subjects. However, they get tricked too. Bulma, pretty much the smartest character in there, has gotten tricked before. She's the smartest character in the entire series. I don't think anybody would really debate that. And somebody could say, "Well, Dr. Gero, but Dr. Gero's dead." I'm talking about currently living. Bulma's the smartest. So it's that was my whole point there, Zan. So saying so isn't really an argument, because my point still stands. That characters who are smart have been tricked, have been manipulated by other characters before. This doesn't make you dumb. That is my whole point about bringing that up, is that you calling Goku dumb, or even if you want to exclude that, now talk about his plan, but going off of your original point there, when you were calling him specifically dumb, right, my whole point of contention there was that he's not dumb just because he's been tricked or manipulated, which is what happened during that scene. Goku had no reason to believe that his ideology would not work, right? He never had that much of a reason not to believe it. Sure, it was always in the back of his mind, but he never really had any reason not to believe that it would not work. And in fact, during that final scene, and this is my whole point, this is the whole point of the video, Frieza tricks him into believing that it did work. And you can see right here in Goku's face, when he finds out that it doesn't, that he recognizes, okay, he recognized that it didn't work. Because some people, like me and Xan both agree with, do not change. Again, he falls into the same superhero he falls into the superhero complex. Because people always ask, why doesn't Batman just kill the Joker? Why doesn't Superman just kill Lex Luthor? It's all about the moral code. It's all about the reality of those situations and what goes on there. And it doesn't have to be specifically around the whole idea of being reformed by an ideology. It could be anything. But as long as the point stands to where it's like you have something blocking you from ending a person who you may have, reason to doubt, I would say, or all reason to believe that they haven't changed. Again, these superheroes like Superman, like Batman, have been tricked before by people who claimed reforming, who claimed changing, but they were tricked. They were tricked into believing that they had, and it ended up biting them in the back. This has happened on multiple occasions throughout different series, throughout different comics, manga, anime, whatever you want to say. This has happened. It's a continuous thing. So, and again, you wouldn't say that Batman's dumb. Again, one of the smartest people in the DC universe. Superman can literally process information 1,000 times faster than a normal person. Make him kind of certifiably a genius. Like, he can technically figure out virtually almost anything. Like, imagine a super genius, right? Superman's like 1,000 times more capable and intelligent than that guy. Yeah. But anyway, saying so is not an argument, Xan, because you don't actually address my point. Anyway, moving on. Frieza's like, I'll be good, Goku. Don't worry. I'll change. I changed my ways, right? Your whole thing of humiliating me, of demoralizing me, of proving to me your superiority has converted me, right? You've converted me to your ideology. I have changed.
So
right? That's Frieza's notion, and Goku fell for it. And so Goku's like giving Xan. Again, I'm speaking from Goku's perspective. And again, you already pointed out how you conceded and contradicted yourself. The plan itself is not dumb. The plan can work. It just didn't work on Frieza. Doesn't make the plan dumb. The way you would phrase this in order to point out the dumbness, right, in order to point out its stupidity, was again, like I said in my video, based on Goku's assumption. It's like, Xan, did you just ignore all of this? And again, I know it sounds like I'm getting on him and hating. I'm not hating. This is all constructive. It's like he just did not grasp that. He did not seem to understand that. That is not dumb. It's a good plan. It just didn't work on Frieza, and it doesn't work on everybody. Some people are going to be like Frieza, where they just reject it. They don't care. They're just that bad. They're that evil. They're that something that they don't care. They ignore it. They regard it as stupid, as something to throw away, right? They're going to kill you because they said they were going to kill you. And so Goku had to swallow his own pride because he still has that in the back of his mind, right? To go further, my point that he believed that it could have worked and that there was no insincerity inside of Frieza. He had no chance to believe that, so he had to swallow his pride. He had to let go of his own hatred and realize that, okay, you know what? It seems my plan worked. And Goku's a good-natured person. Again, he's like the other superheroes. He's not really all that big of a killer. Despite his body count, he's not really keen on taking life, right? It's not something that he just does, readily, right? It's not something he does as a hobby or something for fun. He's always done it, even for some of the baddest people, out of a necessity, because they would not change, but he always gives them that chance. So the only part you would say was dumb was him, just not looking into it further, him just assuming. That's the dumb part, which I bring up in my video, basically. His assumption is what is dumb, not the plan itself, not Goku himself. Again, but he had no reason to believe otherwise. So yes, you could say it's a dumb assumption because it didn't work. Right, fair enough. But the problem is you gotta look at it from Goku's perspective like what I am doing. He had no reason to really believe it hadn't worked. He had been tricked and manipulated and convinced. And you actually see the turmoil inside of Frieza, so don't just look like Frieza was like on the ground like, I got this dum-dum. No, Frieza actually has a little bit of a crisis of character. He's there for a moment literally contemplating everything that went on. And eventually comes down to the fact that, no, I'm the strongest in the universe. I can't concede to this man's ideology. Like, you can literally see that he's having a crisis of character because he was technically sort of kind of conceding to Goku's ideology. Again, even if you don't want to acknowledge the part where Frieza changed his character, the plan overall still kind of worked. Frieza was humiliated. He was demoralized. He had a crisis of character. If you look at later on when he comes back, he does have the PTSD that I was talking about. He is more timid and afraid. You literally see this when Trunks goes Super Saiyan. He's like, those eyes, they're Saiyan. He has those same eyes. And you can see him literally flashbacking to Goku. So the plan actually is halfway a success. Damn. I wasn't even thinking like that when I made up this when I made this argument. I wasn't even thinking like that, but actually, the only part that didn't work was that Frieza change his character, but Zan's going to make this point later and say that, well, Frieza kind of did change. And again, Zan brings up the whole idea of the long game, and I don't know why he's bringing up the long game. I'm talking about this specific moment. It makes no sense for him to bring that up. But it only bolsters my point because he, again, is kind of conceding to the fact that, well, Frieza did actually change a little bit. His ideology and character did change a little bit. Maybe not a huge fundamental shift to where he's a good guy. It did sort of change. You gotta admit that, and Zan does. So Zan bringing up that only bolsters my point. And I'm not even making that argument. I'm not even making that argument. So it's like, this is kind of like where Zan really fails. But anyway, continuing on here.